Hello, lovely witches. This is Dawn, and thank you so much for stopping by. This is another episode of Witchy Wisdom's Wednesdays, and this is a collaboration of 7 witches, and I will link all of their channels down below so you can see their perspective on the topic that we have for this week, which is divination. Okay, so if you've been watching my videos any length, usually I bring up the pendulum, and there are a couple of books that I have come across that are just amazing. So I'm going to share with you though an overview of divination and what it means to me and how I find the tips and tricks, so to speak, of how to make it really accurate. So let's get into this. First, I'm going to show you these books, and if you've seen my videos before, you already know about these books. I'll link them down. I'll put links down below, okay? So this first one is Letter to Robin. You can get this for free as a PDF, or you can order the hardbound, or not hardbound, but a hard copy off of the website that I will link down below. Then the other one is Raymon Grace's Techniques That Work for Me. And you can get this for, I don't know how much it is, $10, $15. Okay, so the reason why I brought those up is because divination. Okay, let's start out with the definition of divination is from the Merriam-Webster definition: the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers. Woo! Okay, basically a lot of people use divination because they want insight, they want additional information that is not readily available to the logical mind. Okay, so should I go into business with this person? Should I marry this person? Should I go on a trip on this day? These kind of questions, it may not be clear to you what is best for you to decide on, what to go on, to act on. So it is important for us humans to get additional information that is from deity, from our higher self, spirit guides, whatever, from spirit. Let's put it that way, okay? Let's say from spirit. And so we have over the years, millennium, so for over, the years that we've been on this planet, we have developed systems that allow us to communicate with our subconscious, higher self, spirit guide, so on. Ouija board comes to mind, right? And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But first I want to talk about this person I came across, Peter Struck, Struck. He is an associate professor of classical studies at the University of Pennsylvania. He did a TED talk. I'll put the link down below if you want to see it. He talked about divination, how it was used, and how scientists say, oh, these people are superstitious. They believe in, wacko, weirdo stuff that can't be proven logically, whatever. He said, but there's something to it. And psychologists and other scientists have looked at it, and there is actually something there. And they basically chalk it up to intuition. But one thing that he said that the scientists noted, was that a lot of these people who use divination, the ones who, he called it snap judgment, were the ones that were really accurate. They were getting information. And this is what I feel is important in, divination in general, is taking the first thing that comes to your mind. I do this with my students when we're doing shadow work. I will ask them a question and I tell them, do not take time to think about the answer, because when you take the time to think about the answer, the ego gets in there and says, no, that's not it. It's over here. It's really this. And then it's not accurate. It's not truth. So I tell them, okay, what are you feeling right now? And I want them to tell me immediately what comes to your mind, and just no story or anything. What are you feeling? What is the emotion right now? How intense is it? Take the first number that comes to your mind immediately. Don't wait around to think about it. Well, it's not really an 8. It's kind of more like a 5. It's not that bad. So the ego wants to degrade it so you don't pay attention to it, so you don't make changes. Okay, so quickly, don't ponder on it and let the ego get in there. Okay. Something else he said was that the English poet John Milton had the angel Raphael explain to Adam in the Garden of Eden that there are 2 kinds of ways to think in the universe. Discursive thinking means passively, aimlessly, from one thought to another, basically everyday life for a human, right? Rambling in the mind, monkey mind chatter. Okay. And then the other way is intuition, which is the way that angels mostly think. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Let's move on. There are 3 categories: natural phenomena and artificial phenomena and direct communication. I'm looking at my notes here. Make sure I don't go off topic and ramble. So natural phenomena is where you look out into nature and you see maybe a pattern from birds flying around, a pattern that they're making, or you look at the cloud formations and you can gather information that way. Divination, just looking at the nature around you. The second one is artificial phenomena. This is using tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulum, runes, bones, so on and so forth. These are systems that it's kind of like a language that has been created to communicate with spirit. So your subconscious can speak to you and say, hey, your body really doesn't like, all the drinking of sodas and stuff like that. You need to quit. So your subconscious can communicate to you. It's important, very important, that you program these systems. In my opinion, it has been, for me, my experience is it's made my systems more accurate, much more accurate. Oh, something very important, another little tip, is for all of your divination systems to put the intent out there, and I'm going to read this, to only allow my subconscious, higher self, spirit guides, and all those of love and light to speak through my divination systems. Okay? Make sure you put that out there, because you don't want to open up this doorway to spirit and have just anything come through. And it's very important just to kind of put your intention there, and there shouldn't be anything to worry about. I've never had a problem. I've had spirits interfere with my pendulum, and I clear that out. Outside interference, yes, okay, everybody out of here, because I just want to talk to my spirit guides. So then the pranksters and whatnot, they can get out. Make them stay away, because I want a clear answer. I don't want some prankster getting in there and messing with the answers. So that is my experience with that. Okay, and then the third one is direct communication. So these are psychics, like clairvoyants, mediums, and so on. Scrying is another way. It's basically anything that allows you to focus on spirit, on the spirit world, and allow you to be open to messages. Okay. So you're contacting otherworldly beings like demons, if you walk the left-hand path, gods, spirit guides, ancestors, those things, those people. So for all types of divination, you really want to use your intuition. So it's very important to develop your intuition. Like I said, be able to take the first thing that comes to your mind and not have to think about it and trust it. And you want to practice and develop that trust with your system. And that's very important with maybe you're dowsing for your health to find out, what's wrong with your body and what vitamins you need to be taking, supplements, exercise you're supposed to be doing, because every body is different. Your body needs certain things that maybe my body doesn't need. So your divination system can give that information to you. And that's very important. But you need to develop that relationship with that system so that you can trust the answers, especially when it comes to health, because it could get very dangerous. And I would, at least at the beginning, I would use it to confirm. So I went to a naturopath, had my blood tested to see if I had any food sensitivities. I did, long list. I used my pendulum and it confirmed everything except for like couple of things, what was it? I think it was cauliflower. And my pendulum said, yeah, that may not be right. Okay. But when I asked about eggs, it could not go to don't touch eggs, don't go near eggs. It couldn't swing to no fast enough. So I knew definitely I don't need to be touching eggs. That's my food sensitivity. So anyway, just be careful with the health thing, and you use it as a confirmation, really, and just be careful. Okay, I want to also express that it's important to practice having your mind clear and focus on your intention and carefully worded questions. This is very, very important, because if you use slang, like, wow, that was so rad, it was like dropping a bomb, your subconscious is gonna go, well, wait, where's the bomb? What are we doing with the bomb? So you have to be very clear. Don't use slang. Be careful with the wording of your questions. If they're too general, then your divination system may have trouble giving you answers, very good answers. The answers may be too broad and too unspecific to really be helpful to you. So be very specific, and just be very clear. Don't use slang. Okay. Another suggestion, a tip, is to practice whatever system you're using. Practice a little bit at night, because whatever you do right before you go to sleep, your mind, your brain is going to absorb what you did and allow it to sink in a little bit deeper, and maybe even give you some suggestions or information in response to using your divination system. Okay, so I think that's it. I just wanted to encourage you to program your system. Like for me, the tarot deck, I programmed my system, this is the way I'm going to flip the card. And I feel that's very important, because if you flip it side to side and then flip it end to end, how is and that's important to me because I read reverse. So if you don't read reverse, it may not be so important, but you can see how it would be important. If I go side to side and my system is thinking end to end, the reverse is going to get messed up. So I want my system to be clear on how to communicate with me. Okay, so that's it for me. I hope this helped. I hope this inspired you. Please leave me a comment and visit the other witches that are part of this Witchy Wisdoms Wednesday. They are down below, their links. So check them out. Leave them comments as well. We appreciate it. And do something today that brings you joy and makes you feel good. I love you all, and until next time, blessed be.